Welcome everyone. As you guys could see at the beginning of the video, we finally got proper snow. July 8th had finally a good amount of snow. We got quite the blizzard. It was, for some people, tough to take, but for me, it's awesome. So, as it said in the notes, this is a sponsored video. I've got another Winnerwell stove. I never thought I'd be doing multiple videos for particular brands. I don't like to do a lot of promo videos because you know what, not everybody is a fan of them. But whenever there's something that comes out that I would buy myself and it's offered to me, it's really hard for me to say no. I do have a couple of stoves already, 2 of them from Winnerwell, which I love. This one though is quite a bit different. This is a foldable stove. It's a titanium stove. This is the large size. So the reason why I was really looking forward to getting this is I can see a lot of different opportunities to use it. In this particular video, I'm just going to showcase how we're going to set it up and how it works in our Snowtrekker stove, tent, sorry. So, sorry, I'm chatting a lot. I'm going to set this up now because I got to get a pre-burn done, and then I've got to set up my tent because the sun's already set. I know it's dark. I'll try to improve the footage going forward, but I got to get started. There you have it. Folds nice and small. Nice little strap. Put that aside. Top comes off. Geez, I'm really sorry for the darkness of the footage. I'll try to fix it. That's neat. So you have these little turning pieces here that lock in to the sides. There are no loose pieces. Everything is incorporated in, so it's not really possible to lose pieces, which is awesome. There we go. Now, there's different ways to use this stove. You can use a grill on top, basically, and have it as an open grill outside instead of having a fire pit. I have that grill, but I'm not going to be using it in this video. I'll be using it in a future one though. So there's the legs. Oh, that one froze. There we go. This thing is so light. It's so light. And the baffle comes with. And once again, it locks into place. That is really nice. Weighs nothing. It says 7 pounds, but geez, it feels a lot less. So I'm going to be doing a pre-burn. Now this is titanium, and like any other stove, when you do a pre-burn, it will change color. Titanium will change more than most, so it's not a problem with the stove. It's natural for it to happen. So I'm going to start that pre-burn right away because I got to get my tent set up. Yeah, I just noticed one thing. I put the top backwards. So I'm going to fix that. So I am really impressed with the simplicity of the stove. This is my first time ever using it, obviously, and I didn't practice or anything, and it goes together really nicely. Everything just seems to line up nice. I don't know what kind of warping we're going to get once the heat is on, but I'm sure that it's designed to take it. So have a front draft here to control the airflow and control the heat. Like I said, there's a baffle here. It's so light. Now, quick tip, one that I checked on. They recommend you kind of polish it down before you do your initial burn, because any fingerprints and I've put quite a few, they're gonna show, and it's gonna be a bit ugly. Unfortunately, I'm a little ways away from home, and I forgot to bring a cleaning rag, so I'm gonna have fingerprints. Now, I'm definitely at a new spot, and it's thanks to the kindness of some fabulous neighbors that we have that allow me to come over here and use their property. I can't thank them enough. For the sake of privacy, theirs and mine, I'm not going to reveal where exactly I am, who they are, but I wanted to give them a huge thank you for letting me come out here. With that being said, I wasn't going to come out here and start cutting the trees on their property, so I brought a second sled full of firewood for the evening, because I am spending the night, and it's going to be cold tonight. So hopefully the stove works out. So I prepared all these earlier today at home. And you might be hearing more cars than usual, but it's a fairly peaceful spot. There's a gorgeous river running next to me, although it's getting pretty frozen up. Might freeze up quite a bit tonight because it's going to be a cold one. Oh, he wants to go in like that, go in like that. So one thing that kind of sets this one a little bit apart from other portable, foldable stoves like these I've seen is the chimney pipe. Usually you have a long sheet which you roll out, and then you have to roll it into place, put rings around it, and do your pre-burn. That kind of solidifies it. It packs fairly small. It is super light. It's a little bit cumbersome, I guess, from what I could gather as one person. I guess once you have it kind of burned in, it works fine. But I am happier to have this design here, which is a nested design pipe. All that means is that each pipe sinks in to the one previous. So it all fits within this nice carrying case. Quite heavy duty case. I got one more inside here. There we go. My clumsy fingers. So they're fairly thin pieces. And they are all coded by number. The last piece in the chimney comes with a spark arrestor, which is neat. There we have it. Quite a tall pipe. There we go. As you can see, fat wood takes a flame really well. It's cold, folks. I forgot that it's tougher to start a fire when it's cold. Good stuff. That fat wood smells good too. Keep the fire going 20 minutes to half an hour for the pre-burn. There we go. Once I've got the fire going well, then I'm going to put up my tent. last of daylight is about to go. Stove is pretty much burnt in. Just gonna let it cool down, and then I'm gonna move it inside. We're gonna test what a foldable stove works like inside the Snowtrekker tent. I can't wait because it's cold. Whew. That's a big sky. I don't know how bright the camera is, but I'll show this in from the inside. But this elbow here, it doesn't come with the stove. When the folks at Winnerwell approached me about doing an overview of their portable stove, we camp a lot with this tent. I absolutely love it, and a lot of our shelters have a requirement to have an elbow. And the people at Winnerwell designed one for me to use in this tent. I don't know if this is going to be an available product. I don't know if they're going to mass produce it, but I thank them very much for doing this for me. As you can see, it's already got the blue tint, and I didn't do a pre-burn with it. This is the one that they tested out to make sure it worked before sending it to me. So, pretty cool. Thank you very much. There you go. So, I know a lot of people are going to wonder why I didn't just dig out the snow from the shelter. Well, time crunch. I finally got I got everything done. Got the pre-burn done. The chimney set up with the elbow. It seems to be working pretty good. And I've slept many times in this tent and other winter shelters with snow on the ground. It's really not a problem. It's not a big deal. If you're used to it, it's not really that surprising. So far so good with the little stove. It's pumping some nice heat now. Some concerns that some might raise. There are some gaps. It's a foldable stove, so you can see light coming out. And curious as to what kind of smoke will be coming out through those gaps. But I'm not overly concerned. I believe just basic, I don't know if it's physics or science or what, of the tent, the heat is going to go out the chimney, and that brings the smoke out with it. So gonna keep an eye on it. We'll check it out during the night. I'll try to do some close-ups of those spots, and we'll see how it works out. So far I'm pretty happy, blown away by how light it is, and so far so good. I'm enjoying this heat. Oh my god, I'm enjoying this heat. It was cold for a long time. I forgot having to wait for that pre-burn.
take a while.
That's not smoke coming from the stove. That's the wonderful realization that your clothes are starting to dry up. That was smooth. Well, nothing fancy. Just a cup of soup with some leftover rotisserie chicken. Cooking snow. I don't know why I feel like I have to show it. You guys know what chicken looks like. Mmm. That's not bad. I'd never tried it before. If ever you have leftover rotisserie chicken, some cup of soup, simple meal, really good. And that should allow the snow to melt a little bit quicker. So I melted another full pot of snow. But as you can see, it does maybe a quarter of a pot of water. Maybe a little bit more because I had a bit of water left from the first batch. So I'm going to go refill it with snow, but with this additional water that's already in there, that's going to allow me to throw a whole bunch more snow in there as it melts. And so I'm figuring by the time we get this refilled here, we're probably going to be around 3/4 full of water, and that'll be more than enough for this evening and morning coffee. So I thought I'd show you guys the titanium stove here by Winnerwell once it's dark. As you can see, it generates a lot of heat. I have all the drafts closed and it's still pumping away. So compared to a traditional stove, it doesn't seal quite as well. That's kind of obvious because it's folding. So more than likely, any wood that you're going to put overnight is not going to last as long, so you may need to fill it up more often overnight. However, if you have a good sleeping bag, you can just restart another fire in the morning. With that being said, with the hardwood that I'm using, it's lasting a good long time, and I'm really comfortable in here. The stove is working up pretty good, really good actually. I'm gonna turn on the light. Like I said, I've got everything closed, and we'll show you guys that there's absolutely no smoke seeping out. If I can find the light. There we go. I'm gonna put the light right on it. Every draft is shut, but as you can see, the door there seals somewhat open. Later on, what I'll do, once the embers die down a bit, I'm going to fill it up with some fresh wood, and we'll close all the drafts. That should build up the most amount of smoke, and we'll see if anything escapes when there's less heat inside the stove and it's fresh wood. Okay, so it's been burning for a while now, so I'm going to put some new fresh logs, and we're going to close all the drafts again and see. This is going to be the time where we're going to get the most smoke buildup in the stove. We're going to see if there's going to be any seepage on the sides. Alright, I'm going to let that build up for a bit, and we'll turn the camera on, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes. There we go, everything's shut. I did close the back draft already. Okay, so it's been around 7 minutes. If you pay close attention, you can hear the wood sizzling, which means it should be building up quite a bit of smoke in there. Down here is where the hinge for the sidewall goes up and down. I don't see any smoke at all. Throw in some extra light. No smoke at all. Let's open the door to see if anything comes out to the front. Yeah, see it's coming out a little bit. Not sure if you can see. So, color me impressed. Even though we're getting smoke buildup inside, nothing appears to be seeping out. I think it has to do with the way the damper is designed. It seems to have a few more openings than a standard damper in the chimney. So I think it's just allowing, and the pressures in the stove is allowing the smoke to be forced out. So, well done. Now I'm going to open up the front draft because the temperatures are dropping in here. So this is a -30 sleeping bag. I adore this sleeping bag. It's a true -30 sleeping bag. Glad I brought it, because given how, even with all the drafts shut, how hot that stove is burning, that means more than likely the wood is not going to last all night. So having this sleeping bag, if the fire dies, means it's no big deal, and I'll be nice and comfortable. Show you guys how much this thing inflates to in a short amount of time. It's pretty good. I got it at Mountain Equipment Co-op. Sandra and I each got one. They were expensive, but figure something that can keep you warm at minus 20, minus 25, and keep you alive at -30 is worth putting a few extra pennies in to get good quality. So let's leave that like that for now. I just let it inflate and create all that nice insulation. By expanding, what it does is it creates air pockets that keeps warm air around you and it prevents the heat from escaping away. So that's why you want something that inflates really nicely automatically. It's a down sleeping bag. It packs fairly small for a -30 sleeping bag. Like I said, bit pricey, but glad we got it. Alright, so I've taken off the next layer, and because it's really warm in here. And like I mentioned before when I was putting up the sleeping bag, Sandra and I both have this -30 sleeping bag. It's really, really good. And I know it's going to come up. People are going to ask, where's Sandra? It's not the same without Sandra. Where's Sandra? I totally understand. She's a lot of fun. She's kind of a natural at winter camping. She just loves it. She's got zero fear whatsoever. If we're out in the middle of the wilderness and I hear a crack in the woods and I get a bit nervous about it, and I'm like, what's that? And she's like, nah, it doesn't matter. She's got a really good temperament for it. So when I first started doing YouTube videos, I mentioned this earlier, we used to do videos long before we ever had the channel. We'd do them for ourselves, so we'd go out camping, we'd build super shelters, and we'd just kind of do it and watch it with our friends. And when I decided to start putting them on YouTube, Sandra was fine with it, but she didn't really want to be part of it, and because she wasn't sure she'd be comfortable talking to the camera. And quite an evolution in a hurry. She got really comfortable and is a natural at it, and great sense of humor just shines through. So I'm really lucky to have Sandra as a partner. Why isn't she here? Well, let's give her a call and find out. It's nothing nefarious or mysterious.
Hello?
Hi!
Oh, hi!
How you?
How are you?
I'm warm.
Are you warm?
I just took off, I only got one layer left, so I can't make it any warmer.
So it's t-shirt hot, is it?
It is.
I'm glad to hear that.
No, it's great. I got all the bedding set up and waiting for me for whenever it's time.
Okay.
And I was just talking to our friends on the internets, and figured we'd ask you because they're gonna ask, where's Sandra?
Oh, well, I'm sitting at home, chillaxing. Chillaxing with my cat.
So every once in a while, Sandra likes to kind of take a weekend to just recharge the batteries at home. So totally understand. But
Yep.
You'll be joining us more than likely on the next video.
I definitely will. Can't wait to get out there.
Yeah, you should have come out for this one because this is great. We're gonna come back here, you and I, at some point because it's just a really nice spot.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's great, and the tent's working out great, and the stove, I'm really impressed. Really impressed.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. So.
It's nice that it's lightweight to bring along too. So
Exactly.
I'm glad that it works.
So just wanted to check in with you, and we'll catch up with you guys. Yeah, we'll catch up with you later on. Did you want to say anything to the folks before going?
Sure. Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Talk to you later.
See ya.
So there you go. Sandra just was gonna stay at home on this weekend. That's totally fine. I'm having a great old time here. Thanks a lot. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, even without Sandra to this point, and there's still a bit more to come. We'll just gonna enjoy the nice stove and the nice heat, and we'll see. Might turn the camera on again tonight. If not, we'll see you in the morning. morning. Well, it's fairly early morning. I got up before the sunrise. It's still not up. The stove worked out pretty good. As expected, it went through the wood faster than the other stove, simply because being a collapsible stove, there's a few more areas where air can go into the stove, and that feeds the fire. So I did manage to keep the fire going all night, although at one point I got up and I just had a few embers left, and so I threw a couple of sticks and coaxed it back up, and away it went. With that being said, when the fire died down, and that's normal for any stove, the temperatures in here dropped pretty much same as it would be outside, but that's normal. So like I said, I got the fire started again, and right now it's nice and toasty, so the stove has worked out really good. I'm glad I brought that -30 sleeping bag, because it was really cold last night, and that kept me nice and warm. I wouldn't have noticed the temperature change in that sleeping bag. It's only when I woke up to check the fire that I noticed that things got colder once I got out of there. But all in all, a good night's sleep. Enjoy a cup of coffee. It's a bit of a novelty to be out camping solo, waking up early as I tend to when I'm camping. I don't have to worry about waking anybody else up. I don't have to whisper to the camera. So this was a fun little trip. I hope you guys have enjoyed. There's still a bit to come. Then I pack up. Probably wait till the sun comes up, but I'll pack up. The one thing about winter camping, when you're packing up, I gotta wait for the fire to die down to nothing before I can pack up the stove. So I'll be sitting in the cold for a little bit, but that's normal for winter camping. So yeah, well, I'll give a few more thoughts on the Winnerwell stove here, and about the trip in general. So that's been fun. It's nice to have the snow back. Alright, so my thoughts here on the Winnerwell titanium foldable stove. I like it, I really do. Some things to keep in mind. This thing gets hot. I mean, every stove I've had gets hot, and they usually do glow a little bit red. However, this one turns a neon red. It gets really hot. So at all times when you're using the stove, either welding gloves or a good pair of leather gloves, every time you use it, whether it's even just opening the door, opening the damper, you want to wear gloves at all times, because it gets really hot. It has some openings where it folds in and out, so it's going to allow more air into the stove, and it's going to burn through your wood a little bit faster. I love the large door. That is great for easy access. You can easily fit larger pieces of wood in there. I'm really happy I got the large size. I do have smaller shelters where some people have suggested getting a smaller stove, but in my mind it's a lot easier to put less wood in a big stove than more wood in a small stove. So really happy with it. I'm pretty sure that the listed weight of 7.3 pounds includes the pipe here, because this thing is light as a feather. One thing to keep in mind, this elbow, Like I said earlier, I am not sure if it is mass produced. They did this for me, and I can't thank them enough because it allowed me to use this as a test in the Snowtrekker, which is a good reliable tent, and I'm really happy that they got this. It's like I said, you may not be able to get it. I'm not sure, but all in all, really like it. I had seen videos before. I don't know how the stove is going to come out in my video. However, the change in color, I actually kind of like it. I always thought it looked a little bit off when I was looking at it on camera, but I think once you see it close up, it's not bad. It's got quite the design, quite the artwork to it, and I really like it. All in all, love it. The way it connects, there's no loose pieces, so you can't lose anything. There's no bolts and nuts. These foldable tabs that locks everything into place work fantastic. So far, really happy with it. We're going to see what it is like long term. Like I said, there are other items that you can add to this, which I have, which I'll use in a future video. One is a grate that goes across the top, so you remove the top, you can put a grate there, just have an open fire, cook right on it, so pretty nice, pretty nice. I'm very happy with it so far. Big thanks to the people at Winnerwell once again for reaching out to me on this one. I have a lot of plans for this stove, and it's going to allow me to be able to explore a little bit more, I think, with this stove. And it's not just the weight, it's the pack size. When you have your sled full with a stove in there, that takes a lot of room, and this really allows me to carry a lot more, so quite happy with that. One thing I also wanted to mention was the door is very thin, and that basically helps to reduce the weight on the stove. So you want to be a little bit careful not to bend it, you know, don't accidentally kick it while you're walking by, but it's functional, it works fine, it's great. Just something I noticed, that it's a little bit more flexible than most doors that I've had on stoves. Okay, so I've given it time to cool down, and we're going to disassemble. These are the rotating tabs I was talking about. And it just pops up. There's that baffle I was talking about. So there's quite a few holes in it and large gaps around the edge, which is why I think that it was burning quite hot even with the baffles closed. But it worked out pretty good. It worked out awesome. Folds right up. I mean, that's fast and easy and pretty compact. There's some of my winter camping artwork. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun. Really big thanks to the people at Winnerwell for providing the stove. Really happy with it. I've got a lot of plans, different ways that I can use it for camping, so it's not just going to be with the Snowtrekker. Also, huge thank you to my neighbors. Like I said, I don't want to reveal names due, you know, considering privacy, theirs and mine, like I said. So huge thank you. What a spot. Absolutely perfect. Loved it. It was nice to have some nice fresh snow. It was really cold, but the stove kept me warm. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. Take care, everyone.